American Airlines Flight 191 was a regularly scheduled flight from O'Hare Airport in Chicago to Los Angeles Airport. On the afternoon of May 25, 1979, the Douglas DC-10 operating this flight was taking off from runway 32R at O'Hare Airport when its left engine detached from the wing, causing a loss of control, and the aircraft crashed about 4,600 feet from the end of the runway. All 271 occupants on board perished. On February 19, 2003, an IL-76 crashed in mountainous terrain near Kerman in Iran. The Aerospace Force of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps aircraft was flying from Zahedan to Kerman when it crashed 22 miles southeast of Kerman. The aircraft was carrying members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. The cause of the crash is not particularly known, though it is believed to be controlled flight into terrain during descent in bad weather. All 275 occupants of the aircraft lost their lives. Iran Air Flight 655 was a scheduled passenger flight from Tehran to Dubai that was shot down on July 3, 1988 by two surface-to-air missiles fired by the USS Vincennes, a missile cruiser of the United States Navy. The missiles hit the Airbus A300 while it was flying its usual route. All 290 people on board were killed. Malaysian Airlines Flight 17 was a scheduled passenger flight from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur that was shot down by Russian-backed forces with a surface-to-air missile on July 17, 2014, while flying over eastern Ukraine. All 283 passengers and 15 crew were killed. The shoot-down occurred during the war in Donbass over territory controlled by Russian separatist forces. Saudia Flight 163 was a scheduled Saudia passenger flight departing from an airport in Karachi, Pakistan, bound for Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, via Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which caught fire after takeoff from Riyadh International Airport on August 19, 1980. Although the L-1011 made a successful emergency landing at Riyadh, the flight crew failed to perform an emergency evacuation of the airplane, leading to the deaths of all 287 passengers and the 14 crew on board the aircraft from smoke inhalation. Air India Flight 182 was a passenger flight operating on the Montreal to London to Delhi to Mumbai route that on the 23rd of June, 1985, disintegrated over the Atlantic Ocean as a result of an explosion from a bomb planted by terrorists. The incident happened en route from Montreal to London at an altitude of 31,000 feet. The remnants of the aircraft fell into the sea approximately 190 kilometers off the coast of Ireland, killing all 329 people on board. Turkish Airlines Flight 981 was a scheduled flight from Istanbul Airport to London Heathrow Airport with a stop at Orly Airport in Paris. On the 3rd of March 1974, the McDonnell Douglas DC-10 operating the flight crashed into the Ermenonville Forest, 37.76 kilometers outside Paris, killing all 335 passengers and 11 crew on board. The crash occurred when an incorrectly secured cargo door at the rear of the plane burst open and broke off, causing an explosive decompression that severed several critical cables necessary to control the aircraft. On November 12th, 1996, Saudi Flight 763, a Boeing 747 en route from Delhi, India to Dahadran, Saudi Arabia, and Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907, an IL-76 en route from Chimkent, Kazakhstan to Delhi collided over the city of Charki Dadri, around 62 miles west of Delhi. The crash killed all 349 people on board both planes, making it the world's deadliest mid-air collision. The final report of the investigation found that the approximate cause of the collision was the failure of the Kazakh crew to maintain the correct altitude. Contributing factors included the poor English language skills in the Kazakh cockpit. Japan Airlines Flight 123 was a scheduled passenger flight from Tokyo to Osaka. On August 12, 1985, the Boeing 747 flying the route suffered a severe structural failure and decompression 12 minutes into the flight. After flying under minimal control for a further 32 minutes, the 747 crashed. The aircraft, featuring a high-density seating configuration, was carrying 524 people. The crash killed all crew members and 505 out of the 509 passengers on board. The investigation into the accident concluded that the structural failure was caused by a faulty repair by Boeing technicians following a tail strike incident 7 years earlier. When the repair eventually failed, it resulted in rapid decompression that ripped off a large portion of the tail. The Tenerife Airport disaster occurred on March 27, 1977, when two Boeing 747 passenger jets collided on the runway at Tenerife North Airport. The collision occurred when KLM Flight 4805 initiated its takeoff run in dense fog, while Pan Am Flight 1736 was still on the runway. As a result of the impact and the fire, everyone on board the KLM plane and 335 of the 396 people on board the Pan Am plane perished. There were 61 survivors in the front section of the Pan Am aircraft. The investigation of the accident concluded that the main cause was a communication misunderstanding between the KLM captain and the air traffic controller, where KLM believed it had clearance for takeoff.